Hi everyone, my name is Tracy Mai and I'll be presenting my midterm project of CIS 9467 for Professor Wheeler. We always buy food from stores or eat at restaurants, but what is it like if we look at our expenditure at a bigger picture? To fulfill my curiosity, my research question would be about finding where did consumers in the United States purchase their food and alcohol from for the periods between 1997 and 2018. Moreover, I'm also wondering whether income level and taxes and tips paid, along with the food and alcohol, influence their expenditures. I have 3 sets of data that I will be combining. The first one is the nominal food and alcohol expenditure with taxes and tips. The second one is nominal food and alcohol expenditure without taxes and tips. The third one is the median household income in the United States from 1990 to 2018. These 3 data were retrieved from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Statista. In this spreadsheet, I organized the data together by year, type of sellers, types of expenditure, sales with taxes and tips, sales without taxes and tips, and taxes and tips itself by taking the difference between column D and column E. I also have a little chart right here that resembling the third data set for median household income in the United States. And I also format these organized data by using table, so it can help me to prepare the visualizations later on. These data is actually the same thing as the previous 3 sources. It's just helped me to organize it better. By using the raw data, I create a dashboard with visualizations for better analysis. You will see 3 charts with 3 slicers. The first one is the sum of sales with taxes and tips by types of seller in a bar graph. The second one is the sum of sales by year in a line graph. The third one is the sales by types of expenditure in a pie chart. These graphs were formed by creating the pivot charts from the pivot tables. And the pivot tables are created by inserting pivot table and new worksheet. And you click OK. You will see the same platform as you see it here. It will provide you a platform where you can drag different fields to different areas to create your own table. In this one, I put types of expenditure in rows and sums of sales in value. And this table is actually resembling the third graph that you see here. To do that, you simply have to insert pivot charts. You pick pie, 3D pie, and you click OK. And this is actually the same pie chart that you saw previously. And all these graphs were created by the same way, which is utilizing the pivot tables and pivot charts. To analyze more deeply, in the first one, you will see that grocery stores have the highest total sales across all sellers, while the second highest are the limited service restaurants and the full service restaurants. This chart is the sum of all sales from 1997 to 2018. And the second one you see is a line graph. It shows the trend of both sales with and without taxes and tips from 1990 to 2018. The line graphs are consistently increasing throughout the years. You can also see that the gap between 2 types of sales are increasing slightly. It is because of tips, and the taxes and tips are increasing as well. And the reason that they keep increasing can be due to the fact of inflation, or the cost of producing food and alcohol went up, which led to the increase in the sales value. The third one you see it here is a pie chart. It gives us the proportion of types of expenditure relative to each other. In this case, majority of the sales were made up of food at home and food away from home. And to see it more clearly, we can actually insert chart element, which is data label, to our pie chart to see that the actual value of each proportion. In this case, 12.9 is for the food away from home, while the 12.9 million is for food away from home, and 12.5 million is for food at home. Next to the graphs are the slicers. These slicers are inserted by the pivot tables that we saw previously, which is from here, and from here, that correspond to the 3 graphs that you saw previously. To do that, you simply have to insert slicer under an Analyze tab and pick one category that you would like, and you click OK. And this is the same thing as you see it on the first one. And we can do all 3 the same way. The slicers are used to filter the data and show the results on the pivot charts. Moreover, I also connect all 3 slicers to report, all 3 pivot table reports to all 3 slicers by using the report connection function. And you just have to check all boxes, and you click OK. So whenever you pick one type of category, the relevant data will show up on the chart, just like this one. If I click convenience stores, it will show you the sum of sales and the trend of sales throughout the years, and they only have food at home. Now we move to the Power View graph. Before I did that, I added the 2 sets of data into Power Pivot to create a relationship between the data by year. Power Pivot is an Excel add-on that you can perform powerful data analysis and create a sophisticated data model. In my case, I just use it to create the relationship. And to do that, we have to go back to the organized data. You go to Power Pivot, and you add the charts into the data model. This, for my case, I already did that, so you will see it under here in the tables. And to create relationship, you go to the Design tab, Create Relationship function. You pick the table that you would like to create the relationship. In my case, I use the year between 2 charts. 2 tables, and you click OK, and you'll see the similar thing like here. In the diagram view, you will see a line is connected between 2 tables. Now we go back to the Power View. These 2 line graphs shows the comparison between median household income in the US and sales with taxes and tips. Another one is a median household income versus taxes and tips. For the first line graph, you see the sales is constantly increasing, and is increasing more than the income level, and the taxes and tips are also increasing slightly. This illustrates the possible effects from inflation and value of good. However, since the household income can only represent the middle class group, therefore, we're only looking at the approximate picture, and but here we can see the trend during the years. Last but not least, I also create a scatter plot with play axis that we can see movements and size of value in all types of expenditure. All types of expenditure are increasing in value of today, as you can see in this little video. And the value of expenditure on food is way larger than the expenditure on alcohol. Even their speed is quicker. After all, from my visualizations, we see the trend of sales, the trend of income level, and the taxes and tips throughout the years. More importantly, I recognize most Americans purchase their food and alcohol from grocery stores or restaurants. I'm glad I learned all these skills from my class, and this is the end of my analysis. Thank you all for watching my video.